Why do you want to play swtor PvP after all these years?
Because of Obi-Wan.
Alright, Scott, let's get straight into it. What is number one on your list? Maybe an easy, low-hanging fruit thing that they can do in the PvP revamp?
Maps and modes. A new map could invigorate that same mode, but having a new mode in general too could provide something unique and just not a novel experience for PvP.
Okay, so maps and modes. Is there anything in particular? I mean, I would say maybe like a capture the flag, but like, you know, what about you? You don't care about specifics. You're just like, they got to do something.
Yeah, there has to be a quick fix. And I think new maps is probably the easiest one because they could still use their same modes. And I wish they would work on more. I think Hypergate's not my favorite, but it's unique. Hutball I love. It is capture the flag essentially, except just the ball is in the middle instead of each end of the flag. And Void Star is unique too. Another map of that would be great.
Yeah,
I mean, really, they could get pretty creative here with what they have and just simple new implementations.
Yep. No, I'm with you. Anything at this point is great. We're starving for anything that's unique as far as modes go. At least I am. You're going to have a new Manon area, so they could have a map that's related to the new area. What else would I like to see? I'm a big Guild Wars 2 fan. Everybody on the channel knows that. You know that. I try to get you to play all the time, and you're really annoyed with me usually. But I love the
more often than not,
the PvP because it's totally normalized in Guild Wars. Once you hit level 2, you can go in. Everyone is boosted to max level. It's not this bolster thing where you can trick the bolster and all that. It's like very flat line. Everyone is max, same stat allocation. You can move your stats around to make your certain build that you want. So it's not, you know, it's not limiting in that way. It's still really good. It just makes it more accessible. I would love to see that. Are you a fan of normalized or what?
Yeah, you've called me a traditionalist when it comes to MMOs. When it comes to the carrot on the stick to acquiring gear, items, notoriety, whatever it is. So I think that takes a big chunk out of the interest for me and for other players that are of that same mind. But at this time in my life, I'd be okay with it. I don't have the time to grind anymore. Even though I deep down I want to have that again, it's just not feasible at this point in my life with my children and my wife. So for me, it could be very, very persuasive now, and I could probably get on board for that. Okay. As long as there is incentives that still remain in PvP, which we can talk about later.
So I added some things to the list. So the way Guild Wars does it is you're from level 2. Once you enter PvP, everyone's max level. So in essence, in Star Wars, it would eliminate the Lobies bracket for me, which I think is good because it would increase the population of who's playing PvP. You could,
which it desperately needs right now.
It does. And so you could normalize everyone who enters PvP from level whatever. I just wrote level 10 here, but it could be 2, 5, whatever it needs to be. The big con, like you said, for MMO purists, people who've been playing Star Wars for a long time, is some people like the gear grind. And some people want to grind gear in PvP, and that gives them something to chase. That would be the fundamental change that people would get over. I just feel like there's more positives to it than negatives.
If the primary change has other elements that incentivize it, yes. But if it's all normalized and now we're just logging into the same regular battlegrounds, just like we have for 10 years.
Yep.
I mean, now we're not even getting anything out of it. We've been capped at Valor 100 for 10 years. It's like there's nothing to keep striving for, and that's problematic. And I'm telling you just from a personal anecdote, like that is hugely problematic for me. I don't, as much as I enjoy PvP, I want to know that my time I'm still accomplishing things.
And we'll get to rewards, like you said, and maybe that's the spot where that can be a big replacement. I see next on the list, you had put down open world PvP. What are you wanting to see with open world PvP?
From a selfish perspective, I want to relive the glory days of WoW's vanilla WoW, BC, even Wrath. The world PvP, the encounters that you could get into. It was just fun. It was organic. The worlds were there to explore. Getting ganked, doing the ganking, getting some guys to go fight back a small squad. It was just fun. It felt natural. And I will say though, that Gree event when it first came out kind of gave me a lot of those vibes again. when you were in the PvP zone. I loved it. Is there again an incentive to do it? Like something that makes it exciting and desirable is really the key here, no matter what we're talking about as far as what to add.
Well, the elephant in the room with open world PvP is obviously server performance, right?
Yeah,
the Ilum
we saw
event,
that on the Ilum.
Yes,
Yeah,
it wasn't good. So I don't know if their technology has come any further. I see that as being the big downside. I do think it has to be objective based. They don't have PvP servers anymore, right? So there's no PvP happening in the open world. You can flag up for it, but no one does. What about this? This is an idea, and maybe this is bridging the gap between regular PvP and open world. Maybe you have an instanced event you queue up for that is larger than regular battlegrounds. I don't know, maybe like a Alterac Valley. Yeah, something like that. Would that be a interesting middle ground for open world?
I guess that's what I was trying to get across when we were talking about modes, like just something innovative if it was a larger scale battle like that. I don't know, that seems like a huge task for the development team though. Like we said we'd start easy, and now we're like, oh, we should have a 100v100 battle. And it's
everybody in the comments is like, none of this is gonna happen. So,
maybe I'm with you guys. I'm with you. Really.
Maybe open world is a bit of a pie in the sky, but like you said, that's a lot of people who started with WoW and even games before that, Ultima, like love open world PvP. Even Guild Wars with its World v World, it's a special thing. People love it, and it I think it also engages people who aren't necessarily hardcore, like small scale PvPers get into this type of PvP, because they're just one of many. They don't have to carry the load, and they can just contribute in their own way. I don't know, we'll keep it on the wish list, but probably not gonna happen. All right, next up on my list, I want to address 8v8, and I know this was abandoned a long time ago. And I think I don't really know exactly why. I think they were just trying to conform to the way WoW was doing arenas with their small deathmatch style. But I loved the 8v8 ranked. In that same vein, you had more people who didn't have to be top tier, who could be placed in a squad and have a role, whether it's guarding nodes or doing something. And I don't know, I thought it was a lot of fun. Maybe the population's too low to support it at this point. I don't know. What's your initial thought on hearing like 8v8 ranked? Are you like, yes, no, that ship has sailed? What do you think?
It's never going to happen again. I think the solution, as we've also talked about, is ranked, but an individual ranking. You go into war zones with your individual ranking. It incentivizes people to play better and play as a team to get their own ranking up. It is being selfish about your rating will make your team better. So hopefully, I think that is really the only viable solution.
So let me just reiterate what you're saying so I make sure I'm on the same page. You're saying no to team 8v8 ranked, but you think solo 8v8 is a possibility.
Yes, just like arena. Yep.
I love that idea, actually. I know that you already have a hidden MMR or ELO ranking. I'm 90% sure. I guess I don't know 100%, but I'm pretty sure because they have some sort of matchmaking going on when you queue up for 8v8 regs. And so 8v8 solo, I think, is amazing. I would even take it a step further. This is going to be a hot take, and I know a lot of people are going to disagree. I wouldn't mind if 8v8 solo ranked was the only PvP, like for 8v8.
I fully agree.
Like take out regs.
Yeah.
Ooh, I think people are gonna disagree with us on that one. But I'm at this point in the product life cycle of Star Wars, I think you got to do everything you can to get the population together. And
that's the problem. It's not, and it kind of sounds, I don't know, like we don't care about what the other players might want. But the fact is that we literally cannot afford to split the PvP population anymore.
Right.
Like, and normally I'd say if the population was there, sure, go ahead. But it's just not realistic. Obviously, they put factions together now. They had to blend the factions because there were not enough PvPers.
I just feel like objective gameplay is always king in MMOs. And so we're going to segue into 4v4 in here just a second, but 4v4 is very inaccessible, especially solo ranked, because people in MMOs want to play objective style gameplay. People want to watch objective style gameplay usually. I don't want to say it's easier, but it's more casual friendly. And at this point, this game needs to be as casual friendly as possible to get the population. And so I'm with you. I don't know, I'd love to hear what you guys have to say in the comments about this 8v8 solo ranked or whatever. Give us your ideas. You guys probably have better ideas, so we just want to start the conversation and see what you have to say. Ranked arenas, do you have some thoughts? Did you get into them back in the day, or were you like, when 8v8 was done, you're like, I don't know about this?
Yeah, I did solo ranked 4v4 because I had wanted arenas in Star Wars since I started playing. I came from WoW, so I just loved them. I do not, however, like 4v4. Never have. And my main gripe about it, which makes it even worse, is tanks and guard. But I just don't like the dynamic. I enjoyed 3v3 in WoW. I thought it was just a good balance with 2 DPS and 1 healer. Another pie in the sky. I would very much like 2v2s, 1v1s. Not because I think they're going to be balanced or everybody's going to be into them, but I think a lot of players would. And I think it's something that is, even if it's as mundane as bragging rights when it comes to 1v1, of course we know it's not balanced. No one's saying it is. It's just something fun. Is it likely? Probably not.
Yeah, my only pushback on that would be again segmenting the player base. Like the more modes you have, you're gonna have people who probably only want to play that mode or this mode. I do understand what you're saying. I think if the population was there, it would be a no-brainer for me. Hot take incoming. I would just do away with 4v4 altogether.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
I would just go only 8v8. I think get everybody together. Look, people who want a deathmatch can still do that in 8v8, and farm numbers. And, I know it's not quite the same. What I would like to see, if they keep stuff, is matches that are 1 round only.
In arena.
I really dislike that it's 3 rounds. 90% of the time, if you get in a match and you lose the first round, you're not winning anymore. Yeah. But you have to go through the motions.
That's how WoW was at first.
WoW still is. Yeah, WoW still. It still is like that. You play 1 round.
No, I'm saying in the very beginning, it was 2 or 3.
Yes.
And then they switched because of the same kind of sentiment that you have going on here.
But then you get vote kickers, win traders. This way, it's just, hey, you do your 1 round, you're out of there. You get griefed less. You know what I mean? And then you just queue up again, and you just analyze what you did wrong, and you try to fix it the next time. You just go and go and go.
Yes,
and
excellent point.
Do away with it altogether.
Yeah.
Okay, this is probably going to wrap up the video. We're going to come into, I don't want to say this should be controversial. Any game needs to improve their rewards. Like, this is a given.
Yeah. No, that's not controversial at all. That's why you're playing this type of game. Most games today. Yeah,
I feel like Star Wars has done a really bad job with PvP rewards over the years. I don't think anyone can argue that. Really, the only rewards they have is the ranked rewards anyway. And so if you don't like ranked, you don't get PvP rewards. You know what I mean? I know you get your reward for like your daily and your weekly, but that's like standard. That's not anything special. Do you have anything specific that you would like to see, or do you draw from other things that do rewards well?
The biggest reward for me is aesthetics, man. The other element to me loving PvP and WoW was, like I said, the open world. But when I first saw the PvP Grandmaster reward gear set, it was like, I have to have this. I just have to. And that kind of jump started, like, I love PvP, and now I have something to work towards in this that is so awesome to me, and I can't wait to acquire it as a goal. In Star Wars, we've gotten a Rancor, right? That was the very first one. It was like a recolored Rancor.
Yeah, there's some, but again, this is always ranked. You got some ranked rewards, mounts,
couple sabers.
Cosmetic weapons, but titles, I guess.
For 10 years, not much. And even in WoW today, people want their 2K set or whatever the rating is at now, because it's an awesome gear set. There's mounts, then there's titles. So there's all these things that are so simple and right there to begin with. When I've seen 10 years of Star Wars doing basically nothing, while every season WoW comes out with new gear sets, super. And I mean, to be fair, they have an enormous developer team, so I don't know if I can. That's not truly like a dichotomy.
Not 100% fair. Yeah.
But I think adding anything like that, I mentioned earlier, even Valor, like how long have we been capped at 100 Valor? Why is there even a cap? Again, it's just another form of that notoriety, or like it's something to show people your accomplishments. It's to be a part of that world and to have a presence. That's the point of an MMO. And I don't think anything, especially in PvP, kind of warrants that anymore. Valor 100 used to do it, but now it's like, okay.
Yeah, and sticking with cosmetics, I'll pull from Guild Wars 2. Guild Wars 2 has this thing called legendary armor, which isn't any more powerful. It's just insanely cool armor with particle effects and all this. And you can get a set just from PvP. It's a separate set, but you know when you see someone with it. And it takes like multiple seasons to get. It takes playing with different classes. There's so many different things you have to do within PvP to get it.
It's perfect.
And it's something you have to chase, and it keeps you on that grind. But you don't have to do it to play PvP, but it's just an awesome cosmetic to go for. So I would love to see it. The second thing I want to bring up is reward tracks. So in WoW, they have the honor levels that you get, and it's kind of like a prestige system. And every few milestones, you get certain things. Like you could get mounts, you could get armor. I think PvP needs its own. I know they have the seasons right now, which are kind of cool. It's like the reward track where you get some cool stuff, and that's not bad, but I would like to see that hyper focused and spread across different game modes. Like you have a Flashpoint reward track, you have a operations reward track, rewards that just come from playing that style that you can invest in and say, I really, I'm a PvPer. Look at this PvP mount I got, and just put it with regs. It doesn't have to be a locked behind ranked, in my opinion. You can still have ranked rewards. I don't know. What do you think about that?
Point, though, like that's the whole point of the MMO. Like MMOs are designed to be like your digital projection of yourself in a digital world. And just like we do in real life, we work towards things because they make us feel accomplished. They show like a tangible object for the work we've put in. So any of that, anywhere in the several areas of of what MMOs offer, I don't even care if it's something as mundane as like crafting or fishing, as long as there's incentives and accomplishments that you can achieve in your preferred choice of activities to do in MMOs, then that should absolutely be there. That's the whole point of it.
Yeah, I think to wrap up, I think these things we've listed, I know some of them probably won't happen, but this is our wish list. I don't think it's that far off. I think they're still taking feedback on what they would like to see. So if you guys like this, tweet at them, or just, like the video we can get it in front of more people, or come out with your own videos, or respond to us in the comments like, hey, what would you like to see? I just think at this point in the life cycle, they need to get as many players in the same pool as possible for PvP. It'll just make it more enjoyable, better matchups. You could argue game modes and all the stuff we have, which is things we want, but it's got to be rewarding right at the end. It's got to be worth our time to do it. And that's really, like, I am the type of person who just wants to PvP to do it, but I know a lot of people aren't like that. And would I enjoy it more if there were cosmetic rewards or other rewards? Well, of course. It would be like icing on the cake. Guys, thanks for sticking around. I know this one was a long one, but seriously, I want to know what you guys think in the comments. What changes do you want to see in the upcoming PvP revamp? And as always, a like and a subscribe is greatly appreciated. But until next time, we'll see you guys. So, in case you hadn't noticed, which I'm sure you had, Scott's been out for a little while. So Scott, why don't you let everybody know where you've been real quick before we jump into this real fast?
Yeah, man. So you know the story, but for everyone real quick here, I went to a trampoline park with my children. And
first mistake
that I just saw a hoop that I just had to dunk on, show the kids what's up. And 37-year-old lard ass here just blows out his knee, and I tore my quad tendon completely. So I had to have surgery, and I am about almost 3 weeks out of surgery now, and it's just been boring. Been painful, uncomfortable, and Tom's been holding down, but it feels good to be able to sit here and actually do something again without having to be laid up. So that's where I've been.
After that happened to you, I actually took my kids to a trampoline park, and instead of going out there with them, I sat on the laptop and answered comments. So
yeah, and you know what you also did? You sent me photos of saying, "Hey, look what they're doing," and that was like not even a couple days after.
Okay,
look
that
at my
might have
kids
been
dunk.
too soon. That might have been too soon. I agree.